So let me guess, you bought all these books because you're going to change your life, but they are currently functioning as the world's most expensive paperweights. We've all been there, whether you're someone who's always running out of time, easily distracted by your phone, or you just can't seem to get through more than a few pages before nodding off. This video is for you. So today I'm going to share some valuable and practical tips to help you read more books without having to quit your job, become a monk, or develop a coffee addiction that borders on a medical condition. So first things first, set a realistic reading goal. You're not going to read 50 books this year if the only thing you've been reading is Instagram captions. Start small, aim for one book a month, then gradually work your way up. It's like building a reading muscle. Start with baby weights. Set yourself up for success, not failure. It's better to finish 12 books in a year than give up halfway through because you set an impossible goal. Tip number 2, stop feeling guilty about audiobooks. So here's the thing, audiobooks count as reading, and I said what I said. Look, I get it. Some people are purists. If it's not paper and ink, it doesn't count. Well, guess what? My brain didn't get that memo because I still remember valuable tips from listening to Atomic Habits while cleaning the house. It's called multitasking. So listen to audiobooks while driving, doing chores, or pretending to work on that Excel sheet. Because if you can't bring the book to your eyeballs, bring the words to your ears. On to tip number 3, read what you love, not what everyone else loves. Now let's stop pretending we are all on a journey of self-improvement by forcing ourselves to read dense philosophy books when we'd rather be reading fantasy, sci-fi, or I don't know, anything fun. So here's the thing, you don't have to read highbrow literature to be a real reader. Read what makes you happy. And I'm all for personal growth, but let's be real. If your reading feels like a chore, you're doing it wrong. So a habit must be established first before it can be improved. That's a line from James Clear in his book Atomic Habits. So master the habit first, then you can improve upon it. Once you become an avid reader, then maybe you can pivot from fiction to self-help or even deep philosophical books. On to tip number 4, schedule your reading time like you schedule everything else. If you can schedule time to binge watch Netflix, scroll through TikTok, or go to the gym to take selfies, you can surely schedule time to read, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes a day. So set a reading reminder on your phone if you have to. Treat reading like a meeting with your favorite author. No cancelling or rescheduling because something came up. Trust me, the new season of whatever series you're watching, it can wait. Personally, I've scheduled my reading time as the first thing I do every morning. So I wake up at least an hour before everyone else, and this gives me at least 60 minutes uninterrupted where I can immerse myself into my favorite book. And the reason I choose to do this early in the morning is because at that time, there are no distractions from calls, emails, messages, or even people knocking at your door. So you can focus and easily manage to finish a few chapters. Besides, mornings are better because once you're done reading, you've already achieved that goal. You've crossed it off your to-do list. So no matter what happens during the day, you already got your reading done. On to tip number 5, use the 10-page rule to get through slow starts. Ever started a book and thought to yourself, wow, this is seriously going nowhere? I know, we've all been there. But here's the thing, don't give up too quickly. The 10-page rule is simple. Commit to reading at least 10 pages before deciding to bail. Sometimes it takes a minute for a book to grab you. Most great books actually take a little patience, but if you're still not feeling it after 10 pages, toss it. Life is too short for boring books. Besides, we're trying to cultivate a reading culture. This is not an endurance challenge. Beware of the sunk cost fallacy. This is a psychological phenomenon where we hold on to things even when letting go would be beneficial. So you've been reading a book, you're halfway through it, and you're clearly not enjoying it, or you're not drawing any value from it, just toss it aside and pick up another one. On to tip number 6, use your phone for good, not evil. Your phone can either be your biggest reading enemy or your biggest friend. Apps like Kindle, Audible, or even free library apps let you carry your whole reading list in your pocket. So next time you're standing in line at the Supermetro stage or waiting for someone, instead of doom scrolling, crack open an ebook. Let your phone help you read more instead of letting it destroy your attention span. So here's a useful tip for you. Turn off notifications while you're at it. Facebook doesn't need to tell you about every cat meme right this second. So tip number 7, make reading a social activity. Reading is usually a solo activity, but making it social can give you that extra boost. So join a book club, start a buddy reading system with a friend, and trust me, when you're reading with someone, it becomes a lot harder to bail on a book. Plus, it's more fun to talk about books when someone else can relate to the pain of a character death or the frustration of a love triangle. That's if you're reading a fiction book. Now on to tip number 8, and this one is a spicy one. You don't have to finish every book that you start. If a book isn't doing it for you, ditch it. We call it DNF, did not finish. It's not quitting, it's more like strategic abandonment. Don't suffer through a bad book out of some misplaced sense of obligation. Your time is precious, and there are way too many great books out there to waste your time on a snoozer. So on to tip number 9, track your progress or reflect on yourself. Have you ever tried tracking your reading progress? It's surprisingly motivating. Use apps like Goodreads, a journal, or even a spreadsheet if you're fancy like that. Tracking your progress lets you see how much you've read and gives you that satisfying feeling of accomplishment when you finish a book. It's like getting a medal at the Olympics, only that this time the world isn't watching. This is more of a personal victory, but hey, a win is a win. So whether you're just trying to squeeze in more reading time between work, hobbies, and life, or you're building your dream library one book at a time, I hope these tips help you turn "I wish I could read more" into "I can't stop reading." Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get my reading done for the day. But before I leave, please remember to like this video if you found this content helpful, subscribe for more tips and book reviews, and let me know in the comments what's the last great book that you read. Speaking of which, check out this video over here where I did a review of the 7 habits of highly effective people, or you can check this other one over here by Brian Tracy. It's called Eat That Frog. It will help you beat procrastination and get more of the important things done today. So till next time, don't be good, be great.